One sentence a dinner party ended my marriage. When I disappeared into my work, she had no idea what was coming next. My wife smiled when she said it. Everyone heard. I walked out in silence and disappeared. She thought I'd broken. She had no idea I'd been preparing for this moment or what her own son was about to tell me. My name is Trevor Hopkins. I'm 44 years old, and I own an equipment rental business in the Houston area. I built it from nothing over 15 years, working 70-hour weeks, missing birthdays and holidays, so my family could have the life they deserved. My wife, Ashley, is 37. She works in marketing for a dental practice downtown. We've been married for 11 years. She came into the marriage with her son, Ryan, from her first marriage. He was just 3 years old back then. For the first 2 years, he called me Trev. Then one morning, out of nowhere, he said, "Dad," like it was the most natural thing in the world. That boy is 14 now, a freshman playing varsity football. I love him like he's my own blood. The evening started normal enough. We drove over to the Hendersons' place for their annual summer barbecue. They weren't close friends, more like part of our social circle. The people Ashley liked spending time with, Dave Henderson worked in commercial real estate. His wife, Kim, taught yoga and posted about it constantly. Their backyard looked like something out of a magazine, string lights over a stone patio. A built-in grill that probably cost more than my first truck. Ashley wore the blue sundress I bought her for her birthday, the one that made her eyes look brighter. She seemed happy. Laughing with the other wives, drinking wine from those oversized glasses that hold half a bottle. I stood by the grill with Dave and a couple of other guys, talking about interest rates and the Astros pitching problems. The usual stuff. Around 8:00, we all sat down at the long table they'd set up outside. Someone made a toast. Glasses clinked and the conversation flowed easily. Then Kim suggested a party game. She asked everyone to share their most romantic memory. People went around the table with their rehearsed stories, anniversary trips, proposal tales, weekend getaways. Then it was Ashley's turn. "Oh. The most romantic night of my life," she said, her voice carrying across the table. "That definitely wasn't with my husband." She smiled when she said it, not nervous, not apologetic, just smiled, like she'd told a joke everyone was supposed to enjoy. The table went silent, someone's fork scraped against a plate. Dave cleared his throat. I sat there with my hand frozen halfway to my beer bottle, waiting for her to laugh, to say she was kidding. To look at me the way she used to. She never did. She just took another sip of wine and turned to Savannah beside her, talking about some spa they wanted to visit. I stood up slowly. My chair scraped against the stone. No one said a word as I walked around the table, grabbed my keys from the side table near the gate, and left. I didn't grab my jacket. I didn't say goodbye. I got into my truck, started the engine, and drove. I stopped checking my phone after the first mile. One careless sentence at a backyard barbecue shattered everything I thought I had. I drove for 2 hours straight. No music, no destination. Just the hum of tires on asphalt and the rage building in my chest. Eventually, I pulled into a truck stop outside Conroe and parked under a flickering light near the back of the lot. I sat there gripping the steering wheel until my knuckles turned white. My phone had been buzzing nonstop when I finally looked. Most of the messages were from a group chat Ashley shared with her friends. Someone had already posted about what happened with laughing emojis. "OMG, Ashley, you're terrible, skull. I can't believe you said that face wine." Ashley had replied herself. "What? It was just a joke." People are so sensitive. Just a joke. That's what 11 years of marriage had been reduced to. But here's the thing, they didn't know, and Ashley didn't know, I wasn't a fool. For months, I'd been watching. Documenting, preparing. I opened my laptop, the one I kept in my truck for job sites, and logged into a cloud drive Ashley didn't know existed. Inside was a folder labeled Business Backup 2024. Boring on purpose. Inside were 63 files, screenshots of text messages between Ashley and someone saved in her phone as Gym Trainer. Photos I'd taken of her car parked at the Marriott on Loop 610 when she said she was having lunch with her sister. Bank statements showing cash withdrawals every Friday for 6 months, always $200. Always from the ATM near her office. A hotel receipt from Austin during a weekend. She claimed she was at a marketing conference. I called the conference organizer. She was never registered. I'd been building that folder since January. Quietly, methodically. Like someone collecting evidence for a case they hoped they'd never have to use, I kept telling myself I was paranoid. That there had to be an explanation. I wanted to be wrong. Tonight, she gave me permission to stop wanting that. As I scrolled through the files, my jaw clenched so tight it ached. Then I saw the video, 37 seconds long, filmed from my truck 3 weeks earlier. Outside a Starbucks on Westthamer, Ashley sat in a corner booth with a man I didn't recognize. His hand covered hers on the table. She leaned in close, laughing at something he said, touching his arm the way she used to touch mine. I'd sat in my truck watching that video at least 100 times since then. Torturing myself with it, searching for some innocent explanation that didn't exist. The man in the video was younger. Clean cut, wearing a polo with a company logo I couldn't quite make out. He looked relaxed, comfortable. Ashley looked happy, happier than I'd seen her in years. My phone buzzed again. This time it wasn't a group chat. It was a text from Ashley. Where are you? People are asking, not are you okay, not what happened. Just worried about what people were asking. I stared at the message for a long time. Then I opened my contacts and scrolled to a name I hadn't called in almost a year. Paul Thornton. He used to be a private investigator before switching to digital forensics. I'd hired him once when I suspected one of my employees was skimming cash. Paul proved me right in 48 hours. I typed out a message. Paul, it's Trevor Hopkins. Remember when you said I could call if I ever needed help? I need it now. Can we meet tomorrow? His reply came back in under a minute. 7 a.m. Betty's Diner on Highway 59. What are we looking for? I typed 3 words. Everything she's hiding. Then I turned off my phone, reclined the seat in my truck, and tried to sleep. Tomorrow, the real work would begin. I met Paul at Betty's Diner at 6:58 a.m. The place smelled like burnt coffee and bacon grease, exactly how a diner should smell. Paul was already there, sitting in a corner booth with a cup of black coffee and a manila folder in front of him. He looked the same as I remembered, late 50s, gray hair cut military short, eyes that didn't miss much. We shook hands and I slid into the booth across from him. You look like hell, Paul said. Not unkindly. Didn't sleep much. I ordered coffee and turned back to him. How fast can you work? Depends what you need. Your message said she's hiding something. Give me details. I spent the next 20 minutes walking him through everything. The folder, the screenshots, the hotel receipts, the Starbucks video. Paul listened without interrupting, occasionally jotting notes on a small pad. When I finished, he leaned back and studied me. You already have enough for a divorce, he said. Why do you need me? Because I need everything, I said. Every lie, every transaction. Every person involved. I need the full picture. Paul nodded slowly. That'll take some digging and it won't be cheap. I don't care what it costs. All right. I'll need access to business accounts, shared credit cards, phone records, whatever you have. I pulled a thumb drive from my pocket and slid it across the table. Everything's on there. Bank logins, statements, phone bills. I've been documenting for months. Paul picked it up, a faint smile crossing his face. You've been busy, smart. Most people don't prepare. He slipped the drive into his pocket. Give me 72 hours. I'll have a preliminary report. As I stood to leave, Paul caught my arm. One thing, Trevor. Once you see what I find, you can't unsee it. You sure you want to go down this road? I thought about Ashley's smile at the barbecue, the way she laughed. The pity in everyone else's eyes. I'm already on the road, I said. I just don't know how far it goes yet. Back in my truck, I finally turned my phone back on. 37 new messages. Most were from Ashley, concerned at first, then angry, then desperate. The last one sent at 2 a.m., read, fine, stay gone, see if I care. But another message stopped me cold. It was from Ryan. Dad, can you call me when you get this? Please, it's important. Don't tell Mom. My stomach dropped. I called him immediately. He answered on the first ring. Dad, where are you? His voice was low, rushed. Okay, Ryan, what's wrong? I need to talk to you. Not on the phone. Can we meet after football practice, around 5? Ryan, what is it? Not on the phone, he repeated. Please, Dad, meet me at the Sonic on FM 1960. The one by school. He hung up before I could say anything else. I sat in the diner parking lot staring at my phone. Whatever Ryan wanted to tell me, it was serious enough that he didn't want his mother knowing. He'd always been loyal to Ashley, even when they argued. For him to reach out like this meant something was very wrong. The day dragged. I spent most of it parked behind my equipment rental business, watching employees come and go. I should have been working. Instead, I sat in my truck rechecking dates, cross-referencing timelines, replaying everything in my head. At 4:45. I drove to the Sonic. Ryan's beat-up Honda pulled in at 5:03. He looked around nervously before climbing into the passenger seat. Hey, bud, I said. He didn't answer right away. His hands gripped his knees, jaw tight like he was forcing the words out. Ryan, whatever it is, you can tell me. He pulled out his phone and handed it to me. I recorded this 2 weeks ago. I was going to delete it, but after last night, I thought you should hear it. I looked at the screen, a voice recording. 11 minutes long. I pressed play. Ashley's voice filled the truck, clear as day. She was on the phone with someone, laughing, using that tone she did when she thought she was being clever. I know, she said. Trevor's clueless. He works 70 hours a week, Ashley's voice continued on the recording. He comes home exhausted. He doesn't notice anything. Honestly, it's almost too easy. My blood went cold. Ryan stared straight ahead as the recording played on. Ashley talked about meeting someone at hotels, about opening credit cards in my name because I never checked my credit report, about moving money from our business account into something offshore she'd set up. She'd been planning it for over a year. Then she said a name, Jordan Phillips, Texas Industrial Supply. One of my biggest vendors, a guy I'd talked to hundreds of times. The recording ended. I sat there holding the phone, feeling hollow. I'm sorry, Dad, Ryan said quietly. I didn't know what to do. She's my mom, but what she's doing to you isn't right. I looked at him, 14 years old, choosing honesty over loyalty. Thank you, I said. Whatever happens, you and me were solid. Can I stay with you when this all blows up? He asked. Yes, I said. You can, Paul called the next morning. You're gonna want to sit down, he said. Your wife's been busy. 3 credit cards in my name, $47,000 in debt, $62,000 drained from my business in small, hidden transfers, hotel rooms every Friday for 6 months. Same place. Same room, all paid with my credit, then the last hit. She was pregnant 3 months ago, Paul said. She terminated it. Given the timeline, it wasn't yours. I couldn't speak. Ashley and I hadn't been intimate in months. There's more, Paul added. If she forged your signature, that's fraud. Federal, send me everything, I said. Ryan texted later. Mom's asking where you are. She's meeting someone for lunch. Want me to follow her? I stared at the message. No, I replied. But stay alert. And be careful. Love you, Dad. Paul delivered the full report Thursday. Credit fraud, theft, hotel photos, phone records, everything documented. Jordan Phillips wasn't divorced either. Still married, his wife wanted to meet me. That night, I got a call from an unknown number. Trevor, it's Lauren Mitchell, my high school girlfriend. 20 years ago, she'd heard what happened and just wanted to check on me. If you need someone to talk to, she said, I'm here. I agreed to coffee the next day, the next morning. I met Danielle Phillips at Starbucks. She looked exhausted. I found hotel receipts in his car last year, she said. Then messages, then lies. I filed for separation in August. She slid a folder across the table. I made copies of everything, she said. There's one photo you need to see. He took it last month. It's Ashley and Jordan, Danielle said quietly, at a restaurant in Austin. Do you recognize the necklace she's wearing? I opened the folder. There was Ashley smiling at the camera. Jordan's arm around her shoulders. And around her neck was the platinum necklace I gave her 5 years ago after she miscarried our daughter. The one that cost me $3,000. The one that was supposed to mean something. She wore it on a date with him. I clenched my jaw and took a breath. "I'm sorry," I muttered. "Apologize," Danielle said. "I feel the same way. And if you need someone to testify about Jordan, I will. I want them both held accountable." We talked for another half hour, comparing timelines. By the time I left Starbucks, I had enough evidence to destroy both of them in court. At 2:00, I met Lauren at the coffee shop near my place. She was already there, sitting by the window. When she saw me, she smiled, warm, uncomplicated. We talked for 2 hours, about her divorce. About what I was dealing with. She didn't give advice. She just listened. For the first time in days, I could breathe. Before we left, she hugged me. "You're going to get through this, Trevor." On the drive back, it hit me. Ashley hadn't just taken my money or my trust. She'd taken my ability to believe in people. But Ryan, Danielle, Lauren, they reminded me good people still existed. Ryan called Sunday afternoon. "Dad, can I stay with you for a few days? Mom's acting weird. She keeps asking about you." "Come over," I said. He showed up with a backpack and football gear. We ordered pizza and watched the Texans game in silence. At halftime, he muted the TV. "There's more," he said. "I've been recording Mom when she talks to Jordan. I know his name now." My chest tightened. "Ryan, you don't have to. I want to," he said. "She lies about you, says you're unstable, that you're controlling. She's building a story." He handed me his phone. 6 recordings, Ashley's voice plotting, calling me abusive, saying she'd get a restraining order, coaching Ryan on what to say. "She wants people to think I'm scared of you," he said. "But I'm not. You've been the best dad I could ask for." I pulled him into a hug. "No matter what happens," I said, "you and I are solid." Always. The next morning, I called my lawyer. "I need to file for emergency custody today." 2 days later, Ashley's father called. "We need to talk. Now." When I arrived, both her parents were waiting. Ashley had already told her version, that I was unstable, paranoid, trying to take Ryan. I showed them the evidence. Everything. The room went silent. Howard stood up, furious. Carolyn cried. "My daughter did this?" he asked. "Yes," I said, "all of it." Howard turned back to me. "Your family. What she's done is unforgivable." And for the first time since that barbecue, someone believed me completely. "She's been stealing from Trevor," Howard said sharply. "Committing crimes in his name and destroying his life. And for what? An affair? No, I won't stand for it." Carolyn stood up, shaking. "You can't just cut her off. She's our daughter. She needs us." "What she needs is consequences," Howard replied, "and I won't help her avoid them." I watched a 43-year marriage crack in front of me. "Please," I said quietly. "Don't let Ashley tear your marriage apart too." Howard shook his head. "This isn't about you, son. It's about right and wrong." I left their house with Howard's promise to testify if needed, and Carolyn's tearful request that I not destroy Ashley completely. That night, Howard called. I confronted her, he said. She denied it, then cried, then said I betrayed her. I told her if she doesn't fix this, she'll lose more than you. She'll lose me too. Friday morning, my business partner Mike called. "Trevor, something's wrong with the books." We met at the office. $62,000 missing over 18 months. Fake vendor payments, covered tracks. I showed him the evidence. "This is fraud," Mike said. "We're cutting ties with Texas Industrial Supply immediately." He typed the termination letter himself. No hesitation. That afternoon, my attorney confirmed it. Multiple felonies, identity theft, fraud. Federal charges. What are my options? Prison or leverage? I chose leverage, full custody of Ryan, the house, no alimony. Clean break. And make sure she understands how close she came to prison, I said. Sunday morning, I went to church. Ashley was there, 3 rows from the front, when the pastor asked for testimonies. I stood, I told the truth. All of it, the affair, the stolen money, the fraud, the pregnancy she terminated in secret. Ashley tried to stop me. Then she ran. The church fell silent. I walked out and didn't look back. 3 days later, her lawyer called. She signed everything, house, custody. Debt, no criminal charges, my choice. Ryan moved in with me that weekend. We started over. Months passed, Ashley moved to Austin. Jordan lost his job. Danielle finalized her divorce. That whole circle collapsed under its own lies. One evening, Ryan and I sat on the porch watching the sunset. Do you think you'll ever get married again? He asked. Maybe, I said. With someone who understands what truth means. You deserve that, he said. Ashley tried to destroy me. Instead, she cleared the way for a better life. And that was enough.